I need you to pause right here, right now, because this is not a coincidence. And it is not just another random message crossing your screen. This is a divine interruption, an urgent word sent directly from my heart to yours. Do not walk away before the final word of this message, because at the very end of this encounter, I am going to reveal the specific instruction you need to unlock the breakthrough you have been begging me for. I have been waiting for so long, holding this exact blessing in my hands, watching your journey, just waiting until you were finally ready to receive it. And my child, today, you are ready. If you skip past this, you are walking away from the very confirmation you have been crying out for. You have been searching, questioning, and hurting in silence. You have asked me for a sign. You have asked me to show you that I am still here, that I still care, and that your pain has not been ignored. This is that sign. I will not let you miss the answer I prepared specifically for you. Do not treat these words lightly. They carry the weight of your future, the weight of your deliverance, and the weight of my unfailing love for you. My eyes have been fixed on you. I will not allow this moment to pass without reaching into the absolute deepest parts of your soul. My beloved child, I know the battles you have fought that no one else has seen. I know the weight you carry on your shoulders every single day. I know the nights when you wiped away your tears in the dark so that no one else in your home would notice you were breaking. I know the mornings when you forced yourself out of bed, forced a smile onto your face, and forced yourself to stand when your heart felt completely drained of strength. You have been holding on by a frayed thread. There have been moments when you whispered prayers that you feared were too small, too weak, or too desperate for heaven to hear. You thought your voice was lost in the vastness of the universe. But I am telling you right now, every single whisper reached my ears. Every heavy sigh touched my heart. You are not forgotten. You are here, in this exact second, because I drew you here. I orchestrated this encounter because I am about to confirm everything you have been feeling stirring inside of you. If this resonates with your spirit, declare your amen where all can see, and let the world know you are listening to my voice. Your season of waiting, of striving, of pushing through mud and enduring relentless storms has not been in vain. Do not ignore this word. Do not let the distractions of this world or the whispers of the enemy snatch this moment from you. Stay here with me. Listen. Open your heart, because within the words I am speaking to you today lies the absolute turning point of your life. You asked me if your effort was worth it. You asked me if your patience would ever bear fruit. You asked me if your grit, your resilience, and your refusal to quit would ever actually lead to a victory. Hear me right now. You finally did it. You reached the place I always knew you would reach. I am about to show you the masterpiece I have been building behind the scenes all along. My child, listen to me clearly. You pushed through storms that the enemy designed specifically to break you. You did not give up, even when every single circumstance around you, and sometimes even the people you loved, told you to quit. You held on when others walked away from you. You kept moving forward when your emotional and physical strength were completely depleted. You stood in the fire. And yes, I know it burned. I know it hurt. But you did not burn to ashes. You came out forged, stronger, sharper, and more resilient than you have ever been. This moment you are living in right now is not an accident. It is the direct fruit of your patience, your hustle, your faith, and your grit. And I, your Creator, your Father, your God, am so incredibly proud of you. I know there were times you thought I was punishing you. When the doors slammed shut, when the opportunities fell through, when the bank account ran low, when the diagnosis came, You looked up at the sky and asked, "What did I do wrong? Why are you angry with me?" My beloved, I was never angry with you. I was never punishing you. Every trial you faced was shaping you. Every closed door was my hand of protection keeping you out of rooms that would have destroyed your destiny. Every delay was my preparation. I was never against you. I have always been fighting for you. I was building a strength inside of you that no human being, no economic crisis, and no spiritual enemy could ever steal. I was teaching you how to stand on solid, unshakable ground when the earth beneath your feet was crumbling. I was molding you like clay on a potter's wheel. I was not breaking you. I was carving out your insecurities, your dependencies on the wrong things, and your weaknesses, so that the brilliant, undeniable beauty of your endurance could shine through. Nothing you faced was wasted. It was my refining fire. And because you stayed in it, because you trusted me even when you couldn't trace my hand, you now stand entirely ready for the massive blessing that is coming. If you receive this truth, show your faith by liking this message and sharing it with someone who needs to know I am fighting for them too. Let me take you back for a moment. I saw every single night you cried yourself to sleep, wondering if your pain mattered to anyone. I tell you today, not a single one of those tears was wasted. I gathered each one. I kept them close to my heart. I watched as you fought silent, agonizing battles in your mind that no one else even noticed. You thought nobody cared. You thought you were totally isolated. But I cared. You thought nobody was listening when you vented your frustrations in the empty car. But I was sitting right beside you, listening to every word. In the moments when you felt the most abandoned, I was holding you the tightest. When you thought you were at your absolute weakest, when you felt your knees buckling under the weight of life, that was when I stepped in and carried you. Every lonely night was filled with my presence, even when your grief made you blind to it. Every silent prayer was heard, even when the answers seemed delayed and I felt a million miles away. But now, the time has come. The waiting is over. You have reached the summit of this mountain, the place where I can finally look at you with overwhelming joy and say, "You made it. You endured. You remained faithful. You held on to a tiny flicker of hope when it would have been so much easier to just let go and give in to despair. You finally did it. And now, the overflowing blessing I have promised you is ready to unfold before your very eyes. Declare, I receive my breakthrough, in the comments if you know this message is meant for you. My beloved child, I want you to listen closer than you ever have before. I want to walk you back through the road you just traveled, to validate your pain, and to show you that I was with you in every single step. You have carried pain that you never asked for, pain that was unjustly placed upon you. You have felt the sharp, breathtaking sting of betrayal from people you trusted with your entire heart. You have faced disappointment after disappointment, waking up hoping for good news, only to be met with more struggle. In those dark valleys, you genuinely wondered if I had turned my face away from you. But I never turned away, not for a millisecond. I was there in the shadows, standing guard over your soul, even when my voice was quiet. Every prayer you prayed in secret, every tear-soaked plea for help, rose before my throne like a beautiful incense. I never ignored a single one. I saw you when you cried out, "Lord, why me? Why is this happening? Why is it taking so long?" And even though the answers didn't come in the timing you wanted, I was actively working behind the scenes. I was rearranging circumstances. I was fighting spiritual battles on your behalf. I was moving people out of your way and setting up connections for your future. I know the deep, lingering ache of being abandoned by people who looked you in the eyes and promised they would stay. I saw the friends who walked away when you needed them most. I saw the loved ones who failed to protect you. I heard the voices that once spoke encouragement but suddenly turned to criticism, gossip, and doubt. My child, I saw the deep wound their departure left in your heart. I saw how their actions made you question your own worth. I saw you looking in the mirror, blaming yourself for their betrayal, agonizing over things that were never your fault to begin with. I saw how you bravely smiled in public, how you encouraged others, how you showed up for people, while internally you were bleeding and crying in silence the moment you were alone. I collected every bit of that hidden pain. I held it close to me, and I promise you, by my own name, nothing you have gone through will be wasted. Do you remember those nights when you felt so utterly exhausted? Not just physically tired, but soul tired, that you just wanted to lay down and give up? You sat in the dark, staring into space, whispering words you thought dissolved into nothingness. But they reached my throne. Even when you felt entirely numb, when you didn't even have the energy to form words and just sat in heavy silence, I knew exactly what was in your heart. I knew the profound questions you didn't have the strength to ask. You thought you were invisible. I saw you. You thought you were forgotten. I have never, ever forgotten you. I was there on the days when the door slammed shut right in your face. The opportunities you thought would finally be your ticket to freedom suddenly slipped through your fingers like sand. People who you thought would say yes turned their backs and said no. The plans you worked so incredibly hard to build crumbled to pieces before your very eyes. You felt like you were walking on a treadmill, exhausting yourself just to go backward while it seemed like everyone around you was effortlessly moving ahead. You asked me, why are they succeeding while I am stuck in the same place? My child, I need you to let this truth sink into your spirit. Those delays were not denials. I was not holding you back to punish you or to hurt you. I was holding you back to prepare you. If I had opened those specific doors when you wanted them open, you would not have been ready to manage what was behind them. The weight of the blessing would have crushed you instead of lifting you. I loved you entirely too much to let you step into a season you didn't have the spiritual, emotional, or mental maturity to handle yet. And the betrayals you suffered, the people who broke your trust, the ones to whom you gave immense love and loyalty, only to receive wounds in return. I know how that changed you. I know you started thinking, if the people closest to me can do this, how can I ever trust anyone again? I saw the thick, heavy walls of fear you tried to build around your heart to protect yourself from ever hurting like that again. But listen to me. Even in that agonizing betrayal, I was working. Even in that pain, I was protecting your future. Some people had to leave your life. No matter how much it ripped your heart out, I had to remove them, because their presence in your future would have poisoned the massive blessing I am preparing for you now. They could not go where I am taking you. Their mindset, their jealousy, their lack of faith would have anchored you to the past. I know you didn't understand it when they walked away, but very soon you will look back and thank me for removing them. I also know you wrestled with deep, heavy doubt. You doubted your abilities. You doubted your future. And yes, you doubted me. You looked up and said, God, are you even real? Are you still listening? Have you completely forgotten about me? My child, I never condemned you for those questions. I never turned my face away in anger because of your moments of weakness. I am a father of profound compassion. I understood your doubt because I saw the crushing weight of the burden you were carrying. I knew it was heavy. And in those moments of severe doubt, I actually drew closer to you than you could ever realize. When your mind wanted to break under the immense pressure, I was the one keeping it together. When your heart wanted to stop, I kept it beating. I gave you just enough daily grace, just enough strength to take one more step, even when you swore you couldn't. I also know the secret shame you have carried, the quiet moments when the enemy whispered and you believed. Maybe I am the reason my life is like this. Maybe I am just a failure. I am speaking over you today to shatter that lie. You are not a failure. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned, and you are not a mistake. Every delay, every single closed door, every broken relationship, and every lonely night was an essential part of the curriculum required to shape you into the fierce, compassionate, resilient person you are today. You look at yourself and think you were weak. I look at you and see unbreakable strength. You think you were falling apart. I see a beautiful mosaic being put together. You think you were being overlooked by the world, but you have always been the center of my attention. Do you remember the times you smiled for your coworkers, your family, your friends, being the strong one for everyone else, only to come home, lock the door, and collapse in pure exhaustion? Your soul was aching with an anguish you couldn't even articulate. I was right there. I was sitting beside you on that floor. When you laid your head on your pillow with hot tears streaming down your face, my presence was wrapping around you. When you whispered, "God, please just give me one reason to keep going," I became that reason. Every single morning you managed to wake up after a night you thought would destroy you. That was my hand lifting your head. Every time you found yourself laughing again after a long, dark winter of sadness, that was my joy being breathed back into your lungs. If you are grateful for the strength I have given you, express your gratitude where all can see, and consider supporting the spread of this message to others who are trapped in their own dark nights. Nothing you went through escaped my loving sight. Not the quiet moments of despair, not the loud, angry cries of pain, not the frustration you felt when life seemed profoundly unfair. I carried the weight of it with you. I held your hand through the hurricane, even when the wind was so loud you couldn't hear my voice. I carried you when your legs simply refused to walk another mile. You thought you were invisible, but your name is permanently engraved on the palms of my hands. Let this truth sink deep into the marrow of your bones. You were never unseen. You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. I was with you in the fire. I was with you in the flood. I was with you in the deafening silence. Every prayer I heard, every tear I caught, every question I listened to. You are my beloved child, and I have been walking in step with you since the moment you took your first breath. You have carried the heavy, suffocating weight of years of waiting, disappointments that seemed to loop endlessly, dreams that felt like they were fading into dust. But I have seen it all. I have known it all. And right now, in this very season, I am redeeming all of it. You have stayed in the furnace of delay for a long time. The heat burned away what was weak. This trial did not consume you. It left only what is solid. I am placing gold in your hands now, because you can carry the weight. I watched you hold your shield until your knuckles were white. You stayed firm when the pressure was heavy. My hand was the hammer on the anvil of your heart. I shaped your resolve into a blade. I struck your spirit until the edges were sharp and the core was unbreakable. The smoke is clearing. I trust you with the spoils of this victory. I command you now to take a portion of what you have and release it like an arrow. An arrow in a quiver does nothing. You must draw it back and aim it. This act bridges the gap between your prayer and the result. Give a tangible offering to this ministry today. Plant your banner in this field. This is how you claim the ground I gave you. It signals that the victory is won. This release will be a wall around your breakthrough. It is a fortress the thief cannot scale. It protects your peace from fear. I have turned your past into steel. You will not break under the pressure of my favor. You have been tested and found ready. Step into the light of this day. You are the finished work of my forge. The fire is behind you. Your destiny is in your hands. My work is done. The pain you endured will absolutely not be wasted. The tears you cried have been watering the spiritual ground where your greatest blessing is about to burst forth. The prayers you whispered in sheer desperation are about to return to you as undeniable public testimonies of my faithfulness. I never left you. I never turned away. And I never, ever will. Let my voice be louder than your doubts today. You were never unloved. Everything you have endured was simply the road bringing you to this exact moment of victory. Now I want you to listen to me with every ounce of faith you have. I am declaring something entirely new over your life today. The waiting season that has defined your life for so long has officially come to an end. The heavy, oppressive weight of delay, the endless, exhausting cycle of not yet, maybe later, and almost, has finally been lifted off your shoulders. You have walked through a desert for years. It felt like nothing was growing, nothing was moving, and every step was harder than the one before it. Your hope was stretched so thin it was practically translucent. But today, I say to you with all the authority of heaven and earth, that chapter of your life is permanently closed. The season of waiting has expired. You have crossed the threshold into the season of fulfillment. I am the God who opens doors that absolutely no human being, no economy, and no demon can shut. And I am telling you today, I have opened a massive door for you. This door was not created by human hands, and it cannot be closed by human jealousy. This door is not the result of luck, chance, or coincidence. It is the deliberate, masterful work of my own hand. I carved this door into the blueprint of your life before the foundations of the earth were even laid. And right now, I have swung it wide open for you. For every single door that was slammed in your face, for every promotion you were passed over for every opportunity that slipped away, for every chance that was stolen from you by unfair circumstances, I am replacing it all with a door of favor so large no one can take it away from you. You will not need to push against this door. You will not need to beg, strive, or manipulate to get it to open. I have already unlocked it. I am standing on the other side, inviting you to step through it with bold, unapologetic confidence. Declare, "I step into my new season" in the comments to anchor this promise in your heart. You are going to see victory now, and it will not be hidden in the shadows. No one will be able to deny what I am doing in your life. For a very long time, your victories were small, quiet, and unseen by others, known only in your own heart and in my presence. But now I am going to make your triumph highly visible. Those who doubted you are going to see it. Those who questioned your faith, who mocked your patience, who whispered behind your back that you would never amount to anything. They will all be forced to witness the undeniable testimony of my hand resting heavily upon your life. I am not merely going to answer your prayers. I am going to make your life a breathing, walking billboard of what happens when one of my children simply refuses to give up. Do you remember the times you watched others celebrate their breakthroughs, and you quietly whispered to yourself, "God, when will it be my turn? When will I get to celebrate?" My beloved, this is your turn. This is your moment. The door that has opened for you is not small. It is expansive. It is not fragile. It is ironclad. and the blessings that are about to flow through it will not be fleeting, temporary fixes. They will be lasting, generational blessings. I am releasing breakthroughs into your hands that no enemy can snatch away. I am actively restoring the years that the locusts ate, the years that felt utterly stolen by grief, sickness, toxic relationships, and financial hardship. I am taking what was broken in your life and multiplying it into something magnificent. And I am going to do it in such a miraculous, undeniable way that everyone who looks at your life will have to admit, this could only have been done by God. You have waited so incredibly long, but the waiting is over. You have sown your seeds into the soil with weeping, but now you are going to reap your harvest with shouts of joy. You endured the deafening silence of the wilderness, but now your ears will be filled with songs of celebration. You stood firm in faith when there was absolutely zero physical evidence that things would get better. Because of that blind trust, I am now going to flood your life with evidence so overwhelming, so undeniable, that you will have no choice but to lift your hands in complete awe. What I am doing in this new season is going to silence every single lie the enemy ever tried to plant in your mind. Every dark voice that told you that you were forgotten, worthless, or too late will be suffocated by the sheer proof of my faithfulness manifesting in your daily life. Step forward, my child. Do not hesitate at the threshold of this blessing. Do not let the trauma of your past make you flinch when I reach out to bless you. Do not let fear hold you back for even one more second. You have been thoroughly prepared for this moment. The fire refined you. The wilderness strengthened you. The waiting matured you. You are not too late. You have not missed your window. And hear me clearly. You are not unworthy of this. This is not a trick. It is not a test to see if you will mess it up. It is my free, unmerited, extravagant gift to you. The very things you wrote down in your journals years ago, the very promises you clung to when everything around you screamed at you to let go, are unfolding right now, right before your eyes. Declare, I choose faith over fear, where others can see it, and step boldly into the promise. I tell you again, with absolute finality, the waiting season is over. I am bringing forth a lush green harvest in areas of your life where the ground previously seemed completely barren and dead. I am shining a brilliant, blinding light into the corners of your life that have been covered in shadows for decades. I am filling the empty, aching spaces of your heart with a love and a blessing that will overflow your cup. This is the ultimate turning point. This is the axis on which your entire story shifts. From this specific point forward, your narrative will no longer be defined by what you are waiting for. It will be defined by what has been fulfilled. So rejoice, my child. Lift up your heavy head. Roll back your shoulders. Stand tall. I have opened the door that no man can shut, and I have decreed victory over your life. It is visible. It is undeniable. And it is everlasting. You have stepped into the season you have been begging me for. Nothing in hell or on earth can stop what I am about to do. Now that you have crossed into this promised land, I want to show you exactly what is waiting for you. I want you to see clearly the specific rewards I have meticulously prepared for you. The long nights, the lonely prayers, the unseen battles, the exhausting patience, and the grit you refuse to let go of. Every single ounce of it has led to this exact release. I, the Lord your God, am pouring out blessings that will saturate every single area of your life. I am not talking about small, temporary moments of relief. I am giving you lasting, overflowing, complete restoration. First, I am giving you peace. A peace that defies all human logic. A peace that this chaotic world cannot offer you, and more importantly, a peace that this world cannot take away from you. This peace is going to settle over your restless heart like a heavy, warm blanket. It will completely silence the agonizing noise of anxiety and fear in your mind. I know you used to lie awake at 3 a.m., your heart racing, your mind spiraling into worst-case scenarios, terrified of what tomorrow might bring. But now, my peace is going to allow you to sleep deeply. It is going to stand like a heavily armed guard over your mind. Where confusion and indecision once paralyzed you, absolute crystal clarity will now be your guide. Where fear used to whisper that you were going to fail, a fierce, undeniable courage is going to rise up in your chest. My peace will be the unshakable concrete foundation beneath your feet. It will keep you totally steady, no matter what external storms blow around you. Second, I am bringing radical provision into your life. I know the days when you looked at your bank account and felt a knot in your stomach. I know the days you counted your bills, counted your income, and found it hopelessly lacking. I know the quiet panic of wondering if you would have enough to survive. Those days of surviving are over. You are entering a season of thriving. Just as I provided manna in the absolute barrenness of the wilderness for the Israelites, I will provide for you. Just as I took a few loaves of bread and a couple of fish and multiplied them to feed thousands, I am going to miraculously multiply whatever is currently in your hands. Do not fear lack anymore. I am Jehovah Jireh, your provider. I will supply every single one of your needs, and I am going to shock you with unexpected financial blessings, unexpected favor, and unexpected opportunities. Provision is going to flow into your life from avenues you didn't even know existed. When it happens, you will know without a shadow of a doubt that it was my hand that orchestrated it. Third, I am bringing profound restoration. The enemy came to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come to give you abundant life. Whatever you lost, whether it was stolen by bad decisions, taken by unfair circumstances, or drained by toxic people, I am restoring it. I am going to restore your joy in the exact places where sorrow built a home. I am going to restore relationships that were deeply fractured, bringing divine healing to family dynamics and friendships you thought were permanently broken. I'm going to restore the vibrant strength of your spirit in the places where life simply sucked the energy out of you. Nothing is too shattered for me to put back together. Nothing is too far gone for me to resurrect. Even the years you cry over, thinking you wasted them on the wrong people or the wrong jobs, they are not wasted. I am redeeming that time. You will look back and realize that those incredibly hard years were just building the massive foundation required to hold the glory of this new season. Fourth, healing is going to be your daily portion. I am bringing healing to your physical body, healing to your exhausted mind, and deep, gentle healing to your battered heart. Every trauma you carry, every emotional scar that still aches when it's pressed, every painful memory that still haunts your quiet moments, I am touching them right now with my healing hand. I am the great physician. I bind up the wounds of the brokenhearted, and I make them entirely whole. Where chronic sickness or fatigue tried to rob you of your vitality, I am bringing a surge of physical renewal. Where severe anxiety and depression tried to permanently steal your joy, I am bringing a deep, lasting calmness to your nervous system. Where suffocating grief tried to anchor you to the past, I am going to lift you up so you can breathe again. Healing is going to flow through your veins like a river of living water. You are going to walk lighter, stand straighter, and feel freer than you have in decades. And finally, my child, I am giving you joy. Not the fragile, circumstantial happiness that the world chases after. Not the kind of joy that disappears the moment you get a flat tire or receive bad news. I am giving you a deep, rooted, resilient joy. This joy is anchored completely in my unfailing love for you. This joy is going to physically lift your countenance. It is going to brighten your spirit. It is going to cause you to throw your head back and laugh out loud again without that nagging fear that something bad is about to happen to ruin it. It will be like the brilliant morning sun breaking over the horizon after a terrifyingly long, dark night. You are going to dance again. You are going to smile a real, genuine smile again. And you will clearly see that this beautiful joy was always waiting for you on the other side of your pain. Your relentless perseverance is what positioned you to receive this overflow. Thousands of people gave up when they were exactly where you were. They turned back when the pressure got too intense. But you did not. You dug your heels in and pressed forward. You held onto my hem when the road was covered in thorns. And now, the sweet fruit of that grueling endurance is being released into your lap. Your faithfulness absolutely did not go unnoticed. Your blind trust in me has not been forgotten. Because you stayed planted, because you continued to worship me even when you wanted to quit, I am now pouring out blessings that will shatter your expectations. I know there were days you cynically wondered if the miracle was ever actually going to happen. You cried out, "Lord, did you forget the promise you made to me?" I never forgot. The miracle was always, constantly, actively in the making. Think of a massive oak tree. For a long time, the seed remains hidden in the dark, cold dirt. It looks like absolutely nothing is happening on the surface. But beneath the soil, the roots are spreading deep, wrapping around rocks, establishing an anchor strong enough to support the massive branches that will eventually grow. Your miracle was growing in the dark. The roots were going deep. The foundation was being fortified. And now, it is finally breaking violently through the surface for everyone to see. What you prayed for in the absolute secrecy of your bedroom will now manifest in the open for the world to witness. What you carried as a fragile, desperate hope in your heart will now be carried as a tangible reality in your hands. The miracle you thought was painfully delayed was actually perfectly on time, and it is unfolding right before you today. Do not mistakenly think that these blessings are just for a fleeting moment. They are not a brief vacation from your struggles. They are the permanent establishment of a new reality. They are the opening pages of a brand new book. You are going to walk in this peace daily. You are going to live in this provision without the constant hum of financial terror. You are going to experience a restoration that makes you feel brand new. You are going to carry a healing that eventually spills over and touches the people around you. And understand this: these blessings are not just for you to hoard. They are going to flow through you to change the lives of others. People are going to see my radiant light shining out of you. They are going to pull you aside and ask, "How did you do it? How did you survive that divorce? How did you survive that bankruptcy? How did you beat that illness? How did you come out of that darkness looking so strong?" And you will smile, point directly to heaven and say, "It was God. He did it all." Your actual life is going to become a living, breathing, walking testimony. A story of my ridiculous grace and faithfulness. What you receive in this season will bless your children, your friends, and even perfect strangers. You are going to become a vessel of my peace to anxious people, a voice of bold encouragement to the broken, a living proof of healing to those who are hurting, and a carrier of infectious joy to those who are bone-weary. Declare, "God is working all things for my good," if you cannot see the full picture yet, but choose to trust my hand. The reward is here. It is infinitely greater than anything you could have orchestrated yourself. Your waiting was a tool. Your endurance was a weapon. Your prayers were the blueprints. They have all culminated in this exact moment of overwhelming overflow. So lift up your hands. Open your heart, remove the barriers of doubt, and just receive it. I am faithful. I have kept my covenant with you. This is your season of miracles. But my beloved child, now that I have opened this massive door, now that the blessings are beginning to pour over your life, I must pause and give you a very serious warning. I need you to listen to this next part with absolute focus, because every single new level of blessing carries both profound promise and dangerous spiritual warfare. The blessings I am releasing to you are powerful, but you must actively, fiercely guard them. Do not allow the subtle poisons of pride, the paralyzing grip of fear, or the toxic voices of outside doubt to steal what I have just placed in your hands. The enemy knows he could not stop the blessing from arriving, so his new strategy will be to twist this season of reward into a season of stumbling. I am telling you his strategy right now so you will be fully armed and ready. First and foremost, be incredibly careful not to let pride take root in your heart. When you start to see the blessings rapidly unfolding, when the money comes in, when the promotion is announced, when the relationship is restored, when people start praising you and noticing your glow, human nature will try to whisper a deadly lie into your ear. Pride will whisper, "Look at what you achieved. Look at how smart you were. You did this all on your own." When you hear that whisper, you must immediately reject it. You must constantly remind yourself, my child, that absolutely every good and perfect gift in your life comes directly from me. Yes, you worked incredibly hard. Yes, you endured the pain. Yes, you showed up. But it was my breath in your lungs that allowed you to wake up. It was my divine grace that carried you when your strength failed. It was my supernatural power that broke the locks on the doors you are walking through. Never ever forget that without me, none of this would have been possible. Stay intimately humble, and I promise I will continue to lift you higher and higher. But the exact moment you begin to steal the glory for yourself, the blessing will lose its divine sweetness. It will become a burden rather than a gift. Humility is the absolute greatest protector of your blessing. Second, do not let fear steal your joy in this new season. When I bless you abundantly, especially after a long season of trauma and lack, your mind will naturally try to panic. The enemy will bombard your thoughts with terrifying what-ifs. What if this doesn't last? What if this is all a mistake and God takes it back? What if the shoe drops tomorrow? What if I am not smart enough to manage this new responsibility? Fear will endlessly try to plant little seeds of doubt to make you question whether you truly deserve this reward, or to make you self-sabotage so you can return to the familiar feeling of failure. I am telling you right now, fear is a liar. It is the native tongue of the enemy. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of absolute power, of deep, unconditional love, and of a completely sound, rational mind. Do not let your daily thoughts be governed by worst-case scenarios. When that familiar panic rises in your chest, I want you to open your mouth and speak my words out loud over your life. Declare to the empty room that what I have given you, no man, no demon, and no circumstance can take away. Fear will actively shrink your blessing. It will make you bury your talent in the sand, but faith will enlarge it. Faith will multiply it. Choose faith every single time. Third, you must be extremely careful with your voice and who you grant access to your life. Not everything I give you is meant to be broadcasted to the world right away. We live in an age where everyone wants to immediately post, share, and announce every victory. But there are sacred blessings that must remain completely hidden in the dark room for a season, so they can develop strong roots before being exposed to the harsh light of public opinion. If you share your new blessings, your new ideas, or your new relationships too soon, insecure people will try to tear them down. They will project their own failures onto your future. They will speak doubt into your vision. They will plant seeds of envy and jealousy all around you. Remember the story of Joseph. I gave him a massive prophetic dream about his future. But Joseph was young, immature, and he shared his dream way too early with brothers who already resented him. His premature announcement stirred up a hatred that resulted in him being thrown into a pit. Listen to me. Not everyone is going to celebrate your victory. Some people will completely misunderstand it. Some will be intensely jealous of it because it highlights their own complacency. And some will actively try to sabotage it. You must guard what I have given you. Keep some of these blessings locked safely in your heart until I explicitly give you the green light to reveal them. Silence can be a massive shield. Discretion is a weapon of the wise. Let your results speak for themselves when the time is right. Fourth, you must stay intimately close to me through prayer. Do not let the excitement, the busyness, and the management of your new blessings pull you away from the very God who gave them to you. This happens so often. People pray desperately when they are in the valley, but the moment they reach the mountaintop, they forget the one who guided them up the trail. Blessings are designed to draw you closer to my heart, not to distract you from it. Consistent prayer is what will keep your spiritual senses sharp. Prayer will constantly remind your soul that I am the true source of your strength and your joy. When you sit in silence and pray, you are realigning your fragile human heart with my eternal will. When you stop praying, the whispers of the enemy inevitably begin to sound louder than my truth. Stay in daily conversational prayer with me. Talk to me in the car. Talk to me while you wash the dishes. Talk to me before you close your eyes at night. If you stay in prayer, you will always be able to distinguish my voice above the chaotic noise of this world. Fifth, you must remain deeply rooted in gratitude. Do not let familiarity steal the absolute wonder of what I am doing in your life. Human beings adapt quickly. It is incredibly easy to receive a massive miracle, celebrate it for a week, and then adjust to it as the new normal, completely forgetting how desperately you used to cry on the floor for the very thing you now take for granted. I am calling you to live in a state of radical, constant thanksgiving. Gratitude literally opens the spiritual doors for more blessing, while an entitled, ungrateful heart slams those doors shut. Thank me for the little things, just as much as the monumental things. Thank me for the breath in your lungs when you wake up. Thank me for the warm water in your shower. Thank me for the food on your table. Thank me for the quiet moments of peace in your living room. A grateful heart will never, ever run dry. It is the fertile soil where miracles continue to multiply. Your waiting is over. Your weeping is done. The door is open. Take my hand, my beloved child. Let us walk into your beautiful, overflowing, promised future together.
We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.